Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
A 25% staff reduction could be underway for the Water and Sewage Corporation. I'll tell you how, straight ahead.
The opposition claims that procedures were not followed in the appointment of the National Heroes List.
The Foreign Affairs Minister and local fishermen address poaching concerns.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, on the heels of a voluntary separation exercise at Bahamas Power and Light, the Water and Sewage Corporation anticipates a right-sizing exercise of its own to address overstaffing. WSC Chairman Adrian Gibson says they would like to see their staff complement reduced by up to 100 employees, but made it clear workers won't be forced out. Jared Higgs has the details.
Water and Sewage Chairman Adrian Gibson reiterating today that the corporation needs to go through a right-sizing exercise similar to the one that took place at Bahamas Power and Light during the month of June.
Right now could do with perhaps a staff reduction of, let's say, voluntarily, of course, 80 to 100 plus people.
That number represents just under a quarter of the utility company's approximately 420 workers. Gibson says a high average age of staff members is among the concerns driving the exercise.
As it stands, water and sewage must right size. Some areas are not functional. The average age is 50. We must upgrade and improve via the recruitment of qualified personnel. We must better our efficiency and streamline operations.
The Long Island MP also addressed the potential criticism that government was looking to offload more workers after the latest labor force survey revealed that approximately 2,555 public service employees were sent home between May and November of 2017.
We're not firing more people. As simple as that. We're not firing anyone. If there's anyone who is terminated from WSA, it's with just cause.
Fellow utility provider, Bahamas Power and Light, earmarked $20 million for its recent VSEP exercise. That offer reportedly included 5 weeks of base pay for every year of service for the longest serving employees.
We anticipate that happening in a few months. Obviously, we've been looking at possible packages. And then once we put the packages together, we'll speak to the minister and follow the process, and so we anticipate that happening in the soonest possible time.
Gibson says similar to BPL, not everybody seeking to take the package will be allowed to.
What we will do is review all of the applications. Just like BPL, some we will accept and some we won't.
Bahamas Power and Light did not publicize the total savings achieved as a result of its VSEP exercise. However, Chairman Darnell Osborne revealed that it was around $1 to $2 million per month. Reporting for our news, I'm Jared Higgs.
Local fishermen say there is hostility on the high seas as their jobs have become increasingly dangerous due to the presence of aggressive poachers who they claim are raping Bahamian waters. This comes days after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs warned fishermen to be cautious in light of those threats. Jasmine Brown reports.
Right now they are raping our waters. They are taking everything.
These strong views expressed by Spanish Wells fisherman Dwayne Sweeting were the sentiments of just about every fisherman we spoke to as they were docked in waters just off Hartersky Dock on Monday. The fishermen say they are fed up with poachers, particularly those from the Dominican Republic, as they insist they are becoming increasingly aggressive when caught illegally fishing in Bahamian waters. Sweeting, who has been fishing for nearly 30 years, says he and his crew, which includes his young sons, have had to resort to sleeping with loaded guns to protect their livelihood and their lives.
Right now it's kind of a scary to even go out there and sleep at night. You know, you got to worry about these guys coming in and just taking you over. You know, you have to have your ammunition loaded, and it's not right. You know, This is all Bahamian country.
Their comments come days after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a statement that addressed an unverified voice note circulating on social media that claims that there are foreign entities that have made threats against the lives of Bahamians, specifically fishermen. The voice note began circulating after authorities arrested 50 alleged Dominican poachers who were found with thousands of pounds of illegal fish and lobster in Bahamian waters last week. The speaker purportedly indicates that there are links to Al-Qaeda.
I like the olden saying goes, when you play with dog, they lick your face. I feel that when they saw the problem arising with the Dominicans coming here illegally poaching, wait until the last minute now, bring them to this point of boldness where they can make those type of threats. I mean, it's idle talk. You know, they know better. We fishermen out there, this is our water. But however, though, it is a very serious thing.
It's very, very dangerous. I figure they should do something about that, because sooner or later it can be war, or somebody dead, somebody get killed.
Despite their skepticism, the Foreign Affairs Minister says the administration is determined to ensure that does not happen.
We don't see there's any intensity from our side. We know historically Dominican fishermen have been a little radical sometimes, but we will continue to enforce the laws of the Bahamas. We will continue to protect the resources of the Bahamas for generations of Bahamians yet unborn. You know, that's our job, and to that end, my part of the job is to speak to foreign governments, to make them aware of the concerns that we have, and to come up with arrangements and agreements that would remediate or ameliorate these issues.
Now, the Foreign Affairs Minister says the government will take the concerns of fishermen seriously as they continue to address the matter diplomatically. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
In other news, the opposition is accusing the Prime Minister of being partisan in his approval of Sir Roland Simonet for the honor of National Hero. PLP leader Philip Davis says the party suggested the government only honor Sir Lyndon Pinling as a national hero this year. Gillian Gray has that.
The recent selection of the late Sir Roland Simonet to the honor of National Hero has caused much controversy, with the opposition questioning whether he was worthy of such an honor. Today, opposition leader Philip Davis claimed that there were several procedural flaws when selecting persons on the National Honors List.
The Prime Minister's own advisory committee did not recommend Sir Roland to be honored as a national hero. On the contrary, the advisory committee had unanimously agreed that only Sir Lyndon Pinling should be awarded the honor of National Hero in this, the inaugural year of National Heroes. However, the Prime Minister and his colleague rejected the advice of his own advisory committee, headed by the FNM's own Mark Humes, the Member of Parliament for Fort Charlotte.
In a letter to the Prime Minister dated July 4th, Davis said he found it offensive as a Bahamian that the Prime Minister listed the honorees in a manner that would accord seniority or pride of place to Sir Roland over Sir Lyndon. The letter urged the Prime Minister to reconsider the recommendations so as to enable the singular appointment of Sir Lyndon this year, instead of all four men.
Because of Sir Lyndon's singular and unique, seminal contribution, is pioneering and visionary leadership in ushering in majority rule and nationhood, that he should have been singularly awarded so that he can be a person standing out by himself. It did not mean that the others would not have been entitled to the award.
The opposition accused Dr. Minnis of being partisan.
Look at the facts of what happened and look at the result. The result has disintegrated into a partisan row. He must have anticipated that. He's not, he's not, as much as we think he's not, up to scratch as Prime Minister. We don't believe he can't understand the consequences of your actions.
Mitchell, who wrote a letter to the National Honors Chairman Mark Humes, said that the selection went against Section 3(2)(c) and 9 of the National Honors Act and objected to the fact that advice was not sought from the committee.
We are nationalists. We believe in this country, and we're not going to, for the price of politics, we're not going to break up the Bahamas. We're not going to do that. And we're going to teach these people what it is to be statesmen.
Reporting for our News, I'm Gillian Gray.
Well, the Prime Minister continues to defend his government's controversial VAT hike, pointing to recent riots in Haiti over a 50% increase in fuel prices mandated by the International Monetary Fund. He says he will not allow a similar situation to happen in the Bahamas. Minnis, who was speaking to inaugural residents on the new budget on Saturday, asked them if his administration was wrong for ensuring that it makes its own decisions.
So you tell me, if you were given the choice of handing your country over to a foreign entity where somebody over the waters whom you have never seen or don't know, would you hand it over to them, or would you prefer to run your country yourselves? Which would you prefer? So I ask you the question, were we wrong in doing what we did to ensure that we make our own decision as opposed to some foreigner who we don't know? So you don't want to fall in similar situations like other countries. Look at Haiti. Haiti was told that they must increase gas prices by 50% by some foreign entity. And you see what happened.
Riots broke out in Haiti on July 6th over the announcement of a plan to end fuel subsidies, which could have driven the price up by 50%. Bahamas Air, as well as airlines from the United States, suspended flights into the country during the riots, which prompted the Haitian Prime Minister's resignation. According to the Miami Herald, the IMF required Haiti to enact a series of economic reforms in exchange for $96 million. Minnis told inaugural residents they saw what happened in Haiti.
That's the same thing they could do to you. Tell you that your gas prices must go up 50%. We do not and will not allow that to happen, not in our country.
And the opposition is slamming the Prime Minister's recent reference to riots in Haiti and his justification for the increase in value-added tax as perverse.
Well, that's simply perverse, to use Haiti as an example. You know, the problem with Haiti is exactly the opposite lesson that he's using. Haiti is there because they listen to the IMF. And that's precisely what the PLP is warning him, not to listen to the IMF. You know, I think somebody wrote that the Haitian government, in order to get some loan from IMF, went and raised these subsidies, which caused a riot, which caused 10 times the damage they were going to get from the money from. That is the point we're making. You cannot make decisions taking advice from the IMF if it's going to lead to social disorder in your country.
Opposition leader Philip Davis says Minnis needs to educate himself on the role of the IMF and when it intervenes in a country's business before making such statements. To date, he says the Minnis administration has failed to make public any study that would support the need for a VAT hike.
The Prime Minister needs to inform himself of all these matters that relate to fiscal responsibility and fiscal finances, and perhaps his Minister of Finance and the present Finance Secretary ought to do so before they go out and make these, what I call asinine statements.
Still to come on our news, reliable water supply on the way for storm-ravaged Ragged Island. The details after this break.